that was infinite. Yo, if it's not Sunday and it's not Monday and it's not Wednesday,
It must be Tuesday.
there you have it. Down in sports, we are in the building. It's Tuesday night. Been holding y'all down for a lot of Tuesdays. And again, this is what we do. We in the building, myself, left-handed at RM Des on Twitter, which is this right now. And my co D in the building, you already know. High ceilings, right? Kimbo Ice is in the building. Yada Bear, Philly Specials in the house. And we're going to give it up like we give it up, man, on Tuesday nights. Browski was good. How are you?
I'm chilling. Um, One of the greatest sports times of the year is upon us. Right now, we got the first four playing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in a couple, about like 20 minutes or so, we're going to have the championship of WBC, USA
It's
versus
Venezuela. We're going to get into that.
Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
Who had that written down?
Right.
Exactly. So, um, free agency popping off, NBA getting a little spicy. It's that special time of year when we get sports 24/7, basically. How you feeling over there?
I'm feeling good. I feel like every time that there's a special, event, part of the year that goes on, there's always got to be something that says, hold up, let's get back to reality. And speaking to that, I wanted to set the show off, man. The kid from Alabama, Aiden Holloway, got caught with 2 pounds of weed in his crib where he rests his head at, his apartment, right? First of all, number one, you watch too many set it offs, bellies, dead
Power.
presidents,
No,
two,
no, no.
right, all that.
No, no, no. See, that's old school stuff. You're talking about these young kids.
The rule
They
don't change,
watching.
yada. The rule
Yeah,
don't change.
but they ain't
You
watching that. They watching
you
Power.
do dirt where you rest your head, right? That was my
Yeah,
point, right?
yeah.
But like, you're in the NCAA tournament. You get ready to play Hofstra on Friday, the first round. Your team is not a slouch team, right? Coming into this tournament, man, like Broski said behind the scenes, Alabama's looking to do some things. They're leading the nation, 91.7 points a game. This kid is, one of the catalysts on the team. He won't be able to play. My point is, no, I don't think that he, was around the wrong people. He did himself in, right? Not going to dwell too much on the story. He got pulled over for reckless driving. When he got caught reckless driving, he got caught with some weed on him. So in Alabama, basically where he's at, that gives them all the probable cause they are. They got a basketball player. They pulled him over. He had trees on him. They don't play that game in Alabama, right? So now they got a search warrant. They run up in his crib and they find 2.1 pounds of weed everywhere. Book bags, dresser drawers, found cash, found lean, like, but I'm saying, don't do dirt where you rest your head. But again, it's a bad look for University of Alabama because they were dealing with some stuff from a couple years back, right? So
Hmm.
again, I'm going into this tournament, man, against Hofstra. It's going to be like Browski said behind the scenes. It's going to be does it throw the bracket in an upheaval? It throws that region in kind of a situation now, kind of like looking at them different. How's Alabama
Yeah.
going to come into this game knowing that one of their best players can't play, won't play, and who knows what he's going to do going forward? What's your thoughts on that, Browski? And then we can keep it pushing.
Yeah, I think it's a wild situation, to have that much
That
on
much, yeah, man. You wild.
where you live at. Like you said, where you lay your head. It's a crazy situation that he put himself into. Um, you hear stories like this all the time, each year, um, around the tournament that it's some type of
Oh,
controversy. We
there's
can
some other
never
something
just
that goes on that's crazy, right?
yeah, like we can never just go into the tournament just talking about basketball. It's always the other
Right.
stuff. We always talk about
That's
the
right.
other stuff, and
That's
here we
right.
go again.
The other
Um,
stuff, right?
with Aiden, him with a big part of Alabama offense. I mean, he averaged 16.8 points a game, about 3 rebounds, and about 4 assists. So he's a huge part of this team. And
Hold
to
on a
go
second.
out,
Hold up. Shout out to Sub the Time. He said young and dumb sucks it'll ruin his life, which is actually correct. Saw that earlier on the news. We don't comprehend at that age. Checking in via the Star Report. Salute.
yeah, salute for that comment. But as you say, extremely young and dumb. Um, and yes, he has ruined his career. He won it, and he waited to his junior year to do it. Like you expected, to have a future. You may be looking to get drafted.
Right.
What's going to happen with that? You're not going to get drafted
Right.
now. You're going to be
Right.
somewhere locked up in Alabama from weed.
Hey, listen.
Like you go to not, you know, to play it down a HBCU school or a Division II school. You in Alabama. The lights
SEC,
are bright
SEC country, right?
in Alabama. This is
Country. Right.
a school where it's basically a pipeline to go into the league, and you're out there, you know, doing your thing on the court,
Mm-hmm.
but being stupid in the streets. Real dumb. So now
Every day for
you ruin your
everybody.
life.
Ah, that's
You
right.
ruin your life for weed, and it's done. So now,
Stephen A. have a field day with this one. But word up, we in the building, man. Down in sports, man. We're gonna leave that alone. And get into a vibe. Like Browski mentioned earlier, the NCAA First Four is rocking tonight. A couple of games inside a 16th seed. We were talking behind the scenes, and this tournament is going to be crazy. So you got a lot of teams that are worthy of a championship run. Some teams are dealing with injuries at bad times. Some people are dealing with other things at bad times. Um, you know who I got in my Final Four. It goes without saying, right? Every year, every time I put Gonzaga in the Final Four, it's like I'm looking at who they play, and I'm saying they could win that game. Sometimes they let me down. Most of the times they let me down. But I'm still, it's like a running joke. I've been doing this forever. I'm rocking with Gonzaga. I've been rocking with Gonzaga since the Adam Morrison days, right? And as you know, if you mess with me, my school basketball wise in the college is Syracuse. We're gonna get into that situation in a minute.
yeah.
But yeah, talking about the first four and the brackets and things of that nature, Browski, where do you feel the toughest region is at?
Um, I I think the tougher region is the East. You got
Mm-hmm.
Duke, you got Ohio
Kansas,
State, St. John's, Kansas,
yeah.
Michigan State, UConn. Like that's a gauntlet right there
Let's go, Browski.
to just get out of this region right there. Um, and when we talk behind the scenes, and I was talking about Duke, and I was like, it's crazy that I think like this season, when this tournament, we may these number one seeds may be dropping off as soon as like the second round. Um, when we look at Duke case, they got a lot of injuries there. Um, Michigan also, some key guys are hurt. Um, it's so crazy that this kid, like, he totally messed up the brackets for everybody, by doing this dumb stuff. But I will say, a team that's kind of like a dark horse. A lot of people not really talking about them as much, but I think Arkansas may shock a lot of teams out here. What's that kid? What's his name? Like
Acuff,
Darius.
Darius Acuff.
Yeah, Darius A Cup. Yeah, he balling out there, and I think that's a program that really don't get as much shine as these other when we talk about the Kentuckys and the Michigans, but
We're going to talk about
Arkansas.
John Calipari for 2 weeks.
But I mean, listen, Arkansas has been rolling, so
Yeah, absolutely,
so
absolutely.
like so there's a lot of teams in this tournament that could win it all. I mean, we was talking about St. John's, Michigan State. So I just, it should be a good one. Should be a good one. Somebody, already pissing on, Gonzaga.
Absolutely,
They got the
absolutely.
pin and say, hey,
Yep,
wait a minute. It
absolutely.
don't even matter what they seed was. He said, yeah, well, wait, let
Right.
me just write this
It's
team
just,
in front of me.
and
It's gonna
three,
be
and three
interesting.
seed in the West. Absolutely. Gonzaga. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, when we talk about this first round of this tournament, Browski's absolutely on point. We always going to see upsets. I'm looking at the East region that Browski talked about. An upset I'm looking at is the 6-11 matchup with Louisville and South Florida. I
Mm-hmm.
think South Florida is a team on the basketball tip. They're able to run with Louisville. They might play a different style than Louisville, but Louisville's a squad that comes from a conference that plays in the trenches, so they're going to be used to playing that. But I think if South Florida can kind of like expose Louisville on the defensive end a little bit, it might be a prime upset. I'm looking at that game right there. Another game I'm looking in the Midwest region. I'm looking at Kentucky and Santa Clara. Santa Clara plays in the same conference as Gonzaga, the
Mm-hmm.
West Coast Conference, and they give Gonzaga fits. So if Santa Clara gets hot shooting the ball, Kentucky's in for a long night. And I think that a 7th seed for Kentucky it fits them about right, Kimmy. And I
Yeah.
think it's closer than the 7-10 matchup, but I think that Santa Clara might be able to pull that off in the Midwest region.
Mm. Mm. I see that.
Now,
I mean, another game, which is ironically another 7-10 matchup,
mhm,
in the well, in the West region, Miami and Missouri. That's also
yep.
a really good matchup where I can see Missouri, taking it to Miami. Um, so we talked about this a couple weeks ago when we were saying like
Mhm.
when the brackets hit and we see these matches where sometimes a 7-10 can really be like 4-5. You
Right.
can flip it either way, and those are some of the toughest matchups that's out there. I think it's even more. I think it's tougher than the 8-9s. I think the seven the 7-10s, the 6-11s, because those schools are just only separated maybe because of what conference they played in,
Let's go,
or
Browski. Let's go.
a game, or as many ranked teams they have beaten or
Right. The
lost to.
schedule.
So
Right.
it's very slim margins between
Let's go now.
like a 6-11 or a 7-10, where these teams are actually equally matched up, and this game could get out of hand when we're saying, oh, well, we have our first upset and it's a 6-11. I'm like, well, it's not really an upset if
Give him,
know.
give him an example that's going to go on in the first four. You got SMU and
Oh,
Miami of
in Miami,
Ohio.
Ohio. Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Everybody knows Miami of Ohio was doing work until the last game of the season.
yeah, until they lost.
Yeah, so again, they are in, but we're going to see how far they can go with that crazy record that they got. I mean, it's a gaudy record, but again, at the end of the day, this is where we kind of like, oh, you're nitpicking and you're scrutinizing. But no, if you're a 31-1 team, you're
Yeah.
supposed to at least get to the Sweet 16, at least.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, again, we're going to see them now playing against a team like SMU. We're going to see. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But what do we know? look at what Howard is doing to UMBC right now.
I mean, but a lot of people are talking about this game, and a lot of people expected Howard to beat them because of the style of play that they played. That they played
Hmm.
really good defense, and a couple guys on the team get busy. So I was like, wow, seeing Howard taking care of business right now is wow. And then just imagine, Miami, Ohio had this hype this whole season to
Yeah.
turn around to now have to play in the first four and then to lose to SMU will make you be like, well, that 31-1 is fugazi.
They knew that's when you have the conversations about who did they play, right?
Exactly.
Then 31-1 looks it's beautiful when you look at it on paper. It's like, oh
Oh my
snap,
god, it
it's
looks
crazy.
amazing.
But then when you start to get down to it, it's like, oh, they played these guys and they played these
Hmm.
guys. And they won a lot of buzzer beaters too, Kimmy. That's the end of the season. They won a couple of buzzer
Yeah,
beaters. So,
yeah.
but we're going to talk about how a lot of teams, when you talk about different conferences and different styles of play and things of that nature, there's some teams that we didn't even mention. Arizona, right? You talk
Hmm.
about you talked about Virginia. We didn't talk
Hmm.
about UConn,
Yeah.
right? They're number two in the East. Again, I'm looking at this East region right now, and I'm seeing, wow, you got Ohio State, TCU, St. John's in Northern Iowa. Kansas is playing Cal Baptist. I mean, are we going to finally get to see the kid Darren Peterson, or is he going to play 5 minutes and then need a rest?
Who knows?
You know what I'm saying?
Who knows?
And they keep saying he's the number one pick.
How? I don't
That's
get it.
number one pick in the draft.
Yeah, I don't get it. Okay, cool.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, again, I want to see how, a squad like, Alabama responds to what they got to go through, right?
Hmm.
Again, I'm looking at the South region, talk about Florida, you know what I'm saying? A team everybody's kind of high on right now that's kind of like the team in the Macy's window, Vanderbilt.
With Vanderbilt and number 5, fifth seed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I kind of look at McNeese and I say, here's your chance to be Florida Gulf Coast. You know what I mean? You knock off Vanderbilt, you made your season. But
Exactly.
I think that when you get to a situation like this, a 5 versus 12, that's the Bermuda Triangle right there, Browski.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some upsets in the 5-12 region, in the
Yeah.
5-12 matchup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And who do you think is going to be the first team to get knocked off, the first upset? Like it could be a 1, 2, or 3 seed.
Um.
Because all of them not going to make it to next weekend.
Yeah, I think it's a really good chance that Purdue.
That's another team we
Um.
didn't do, right?
Yeah, because their second round matchup could possibly be either Miami and Missouri. Um. Either one, I think, may give Purdue a little run for their money. I think Purdue is a little. I think.
Let's just go ahead and say it. Purdue's going to wipe the floor with Queens. Again, unless they just really have an off game. I mean, that Big Ten thing and Purdue, even though they're number 2 seed and things of that nature, I don't think a lot of people really looked at them
No.
in that vein. So they
Yeah.
gotta, and they're playing 15 seed. Oh man,
Yeah. I think Duke is also should be a little shaky. You
against
know.
Siena. Okay, let's go.
Second round. A possible matchup of Ohio State. Not really in
Right.
Duke's
Okay.
favor with the amount of the key injuries they have. They got key players that's injured, and going against Ohio State, they may need more than Cameron Boozer. Um, I think if it's TCU, I think they have a better chance versus TCU, but I think Ohio State might give them a run for their money. Um, I don't really see no real big in the first round. I mean, South Florida could take Louisville. Is that 6-11? Is that really a upset? I
What
just
about? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would think South. I mean, again, a 6 against 11, you expect the six to win. I mean, like you got the
yeah.
South, you got North Carolina, and VCU, and I agree with you. VCU beats North Carolina. I mean, even without the kid, because
Hmm.
he's hurt. So
He's hurt.
again, the kid Caleb, so he's out. So again, looking at that, would that be such an upset even if he was playing? Because
Yeah,
VCU is not a bad team at all.
exactly.
Again, what team do you think got a seed higher than they should have gotten? I'm looking at a couple of them right now.
Um, a seed higher than they should
Than they
have
should have got.
gotten.
Yep.
I mean,
Tell you one right now. Look at the number 4 seed in the East.
I'm looking right at it. I'm looking at Kansas. I was
The,
look. That's who I was looking at. I
the
just like
number
I
four
was
seed in
looking
the East.
and I stopped right there and I was like, but remember when we talked last week and we were saying how some teams was going to get, ranked because of their name, and Kansas is one of those teams. It's like, oh,
Dare we say overrated?
yeah, yes, yeah, and it's like, oh, it's Kansas. They gotta be, top five, top 10. You can't. God forbid Kansas is the number 10 seed or 11 seed. God
They got
forbid.
number 1 pick. They got a potential number 1 pick that don't play.
Don't play.
I mean, but again, we got a couple weeks, like Basky said. This is the one of the best times of the year where everybody kind of comes together. They talk that talk. Everybody roots for their team. At the beginning, we say there's no way on this ball of clay that somebody's going to come up with a perfect bracket.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
Exactly.
way. You know what I mean? But it always seems to happen. Somebody somewhere allegedly pops up with a perfect bracket. Now, I don't know. There's millions of them out there, so one of them could be the winning one because now everybody's picking their team to win the national championship. I don't care if you're Idaho, Furman, Kennesaw State, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
SMU, Wright State, St. Mary's. Oh, and I would be remiss if I didn't say shout out to Penn.
Absolutely. I really look. One of them always got to make it through. And I mean, and those games
I,
are not a guaranteed victory. Also, because we have mentioned in the past how the pace of the Ivy League plays is totally different than the rest of the NCAA. They play a slower half court pace. We can slow down the game, and that's when like you said, you scratching your head because it's 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter and you down by 8 points, and you're like, what?
mm,
Like, how am I down by eight? And it's 3 minutes left. Like, where did the time go? That's because
right.
they've been walking you down the court the whole
Walking you
time.
down the court. Rocking you to sleep. That's what that. Yup. Rocking.
Exactly. Yeah.
Word up.
So
We in the building, man. Live and direct, man. First Four. Right now, we looking at Howard 72-65. About 8 minutes ago in the second half. Yeah. So this is where it's going down. Yes, I got Gonzaga in the Final Four. Absolutely. I got Gonzaga, so don't even ask. Well, then you can ask, but I'm gonna tell you, I got Gonzaga in the Final Four. Browski, let's get into the NBA. It's getting to be about that time where the truth is going to be shown. Playoff position is at a premium right now. Where do you think? What about a good 3-4 weeks left in the season?
yeah.
What do you see happening as far as the Eastern Conference? How do you feel that's shaking out? That's going to shake out.
Well, I think the East is going to fall right where it's at right now. I think the only thing I'm really eyeing is Boston. Jason Tatum is back. He's back. these guys are back again, and they're only 3.5 games back of Detroit. Detroit to me is this year's Cleveland Cavalier, where they're the front runner the whole season, number one seed, blah blah blah. But like you said, it's about 3 weeks left of the season. Boston is hot on their tail, 3 games back. I mean, Jason Tatum came back, looked like he didn't really lose much. Came back balling. Gotta give respect where respect is due because coming back from ACL and to return to what he has is great for basketball. I feel like we probably gonna have a little flip of the script. I think Boston probably gonna end up being the number one overall seed.
Okay, they're gonna catch Detroit.
Yeah, they're only 3.5 games back, and it's still about 3 weeks. I can see it happening. I mean, to me, it's getting really tight for the first three. So I think it could flip either way. I mean, New York could get the number one overall seed. They're only 5 games back. You know, if
I,
that's
I
something
was,
that,
I was, and we're a game and a half behind Boston.
yeah. So I mean, y'all right there in the mix of getting the number one overall seed. If that's something that's truly important, to you guys, I think being a 3 seed right now is probably perfect. You know, but my team is, once again, the same old, the same old Sixers script. Get about a month of good basketball, and you get you thinking like, oh, look at that, the Sixers is actually look like a real team, a real threat, and then the dumb stuff start happening. Um, Suspension, injuries, more injuries, and now we sit back in the ninth seed. I don't even want us in the play-in. We got a team of D leaguers in my rookie of the year, and it's pitiful. You know, it's a sad sight here in Philadelphia. I feel like we're continuously cursed for what I don't know. I'm thinking it's the Moses Malone deal that this organization has just been curse after curse, haven't been past the second round since what, in like
Iverson.
20 years, like 20, 40, 25 years. This is
It's
the 25-year
Iverson.
anniversary of it. Yeah, it's been
Damn,
25
bro.
years. So it's like it's a dark cloud over the Sixers organization. I don't know what it is. I kind of think I know what it is. I think it's the ownership. I feel like the owner don't care about basketball, and we was only good when we had an owner, Pat Croce, who cared about basketball, engaged with the team, cared about the team, did things with the team. You don't see Josh Harris anywhere around the Sixers. The only thing he's worrying about is the books. Are we under the luxury tax? That's all he care about because guess what? He needs to spend the rest of his money down in Washington. He's trying to get that stadium together, and he's more focused on the Commanders than he is the Sixers. And that's why I feel like the league needs to make him sell the team because this right here is getting out of control. It is out of control. Like
It's Browski, you know.
it comes to a certain point where it's like, bro, sell the team. What are we doing? You are not even watching the game. You don't even know who's on your roster. You don't know what's happening here, and it's terrible. Like this Sixers regime had actually took some of the basketball joy from me
Mm.
because who wants to watch a sport where your team is trash year after year? After they give you a glimmer of hope, and then we get, oh, Paul George suspension, Joel, oh, he looks good. Oh, he's bad. Oh, wait a minute, he's not on minutes
Oh, wait a
restriction
minute.
anymore. Oh, cool. He's scoring 30 something points in 7 straight games. He looks like his healthy self. Oh, now his shin hurts. Oh, now his other knee hurt. Now he's back on the minutes restriction. Oh, now he's not playing at all. Oh, Maxie, All Star, amazing season,
Mm-hmm.
future of the team. Overusage. I said it from day one. They're playing Maxie too many minutes. He's playing too much. He's
Hmm.
playing too much.
Hmm.
And boom, he tore a ligament in his pinky finger. Oh, he's out for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, that's the season. What are you talking about? He's done for the season. Just say Maxie's done for the season once again because you have two other guys on your team that can't stay healthy. One is borderline doing dope, who can do dope in podcasts, okay, from California. The other one got his body is failing him, and then a young guy with the overusage injury can't finish the season because he's playing 42 minutes in month two of the season.
Hmm.
Like, why is he playing the full game? Trade deadline come, no help. You don't get no help. You got same old guys on the team. Trade away young talent. Don't bring anything in. Oh, we thought we can use the draft picks to get a player. Well, where's the player? I'm just looking at Daryl Morey, like, what happened to you? And then for him to turn around and make a stupid comment of saying, I think 3 pointers score too much, no, too much 3 pointers. I don't think they're worth 3 points. When you had a guy that lived, that your whole coaching used to was 3 pointers. But all of a sudden now you want to say, oh, too much value on a 3 pointer. I just can't.
Hmm.
I, I'm I'm done with this NBA season.
Hmm.
I'm going to enjoy
That's
watching the other
you know.
teams.
Hmm.
I'm enjoy watching the other teams in the playoffs. But I'm done with the Sixers right now. It's like I got to stop the bleeding. So I'm going to put a band-aid on.
I hear you, Browski. I
What
feel
about the
like
Knicks?
yeah, my Knicks are doing what they do. They won three in a row, 7-3 in the last 10. Are they waking up? I feel like they have to go into this last final stretch of the season playing not their best basketball because you want to see their best basketball in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're gonna have to absolutely be a little bit more cohesive. Jose Alvarado is starting. You know what I mean? And again, I think that is not a reflection on Jalen Brunson. I just think sometimes give him a blow. You know what I'm saying? Let him do his thing. And
Mm-hmm.
I think if Mike Brown is looking down the line, so to speak. Alvarado's in these games in these pressure situations. He never really had to deal with that in New Orleans or whatever. Now I think that is the time where you kind of get your bench guys a little bit more, get them a little bit more seasoning because again you're
Mm-hmm.
going to need that. The rotation is what it is. I think the rotation for Mike Brown is that whoever's hot, and we said
Is in
that
there. Mm-hmm.
he said that at the beginning of the season. He's gonna, go with who he goes with, and then if you're not doing what you're doing, Josh Hart, you know what I mean? He's gonna let you know. But I think what you said, Browski, is very very telling. You got the Detroit Pistons who have dominated the Knicks all season, spanked. None of them games have been close. Spanked the
Mm-hmm.
Knicks, right? Then you got the Boston Celtics who Browski at the beginning of the season, we was like, yo, if the Knicks, anytime the Knicks gonna do it, it's now. Jason Tatum's now. We didn't worry about Tyrese Halliburton. We didn't worry about him. Jason Tatum. Now Tatum is back. Now
Yep.
everybody's shook, scared to look, but ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Either you're gonna do it or you're not. Boston, can they get it together? They're 7-3 in their last 10. Um, I'm not really worried about that. What I'm worried about is getting out of the first round and getting ready to do what we do for the second round. Get rest, sleep. Right now, if we was, the season ended today and we was in the playoffs, I think we played Toronto.
Yeah.
You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So again, that get them out of here. Now's the time. It's time to all that talking about championship and all the commercials and all the title runs and this and that. Now it's time to show and prove. Salute to New York Knicks fan and all of that. Salute to everybody. But I feel like again, this is a team that should have more than 50 wins going into the close out of the season. Again, wins must be the ceiling, right? Because again, we can't get over that to 55 and maybe upwards towards 60 because then you get like, oh, 60 and 20, what? You know what I mean? So again, we're not there yet. You know what I mean? But hopefully we can do what we need to do to make a long, deep, sustained run as far as the NBA is concerned. What's your outlook as far? Oh, before we go to the West, perfect, situation. What's your thoughts about the NBA talking about expansion, which should happen anyway? Talking about getting Seattle and Las Vegas and moving, what was it, Memphis and Minnesota to the east?
Yeah. I'm all for expansion. I'll be more than happy to have the Seattle Supersonics back. Hopefully, they can keep the name.
Oh, yeah,
And
you're gonna keep all
okay,
that. You're gonna keep the name, yep.
all right, good. And I mean, a team in Vegas was going to happen sooner or later. I mean, that's where the U.S. Olympic team facilities is in Vegas. You already have a multi championship winning WNBA team in Vegas. You have which kind of geared you up with a professional basketball audience out there. The Aces games are always packed, and I think a men's team out there would do great. Probably help out the WNBA even more. I think it'll be awesome. Moving Memphis and Minnesota to the West,
To the east.
I mean to the East. There's other teams that I think you can move to the East. That's you know not on the West Coast. That's Midwest. You know,
I mean, but you talk about, I mean, who would you move? Like New Orleans?
yeah. Why not? That would be
I,
number one.
I hear you.
That would be number one. New Orleans right there. The second one, um,
I mean,
uh,
to me, it's like those are ones that made the most sense. I mean,
yeah,
what about Dallas? What about Dallas, Browski?
that's a far trip. You can't do
They
back to
play,
back.
they play the NFC East.
But that's different with football. You only play once a week. You can't have it back to
Did
back.
it. But it messes with the kid's mind, geographically speaking. But that's above the stuff. But you know,
I'm New
why
Orleans
why is it
definitely.
the East in football and in the West in basketball?
Yeah, I can see New Orleans and yeah, maybe Memphis. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with the Seattle situation, that was the terms that
Mhm.
whenever they, got a new team, that they would keep the name, keep the colors, and all of that. So that's dope.
That's good.
I'm a Sonics fan, man, because I miss the Seattle Supersonics. Browski
Yeah.
used to be the Seattle Supersonics used to be that thing, man.
No,
Yeah.
it was, and that was a huge staple in the NBA. And like as
Yep.
the
Seattle,
Supersonics
man. Yeah.
gone,
Yep.
it feels a little weird, not to have this here Supersonics. Just like I feel like it's weird that we don't have the Expos. That's weird to
Montreal.
me.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
weird that the Expos are not.
You got the
That's weird.
Toronto Blue Jays, right? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Ab-
it's crazy. So, um, I heard they were talking about they have an expansion by 2028. Um, with the two teams, Seattle and Vegas, which will be interesting because then we get an expansion draft, and that's
And
when
guess
things
what? I mean,
can
and
get
guess
sticky.
can you name a couple names you think is going to be on the expensive draft list? I can think of one. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
can think of
John
one.
Morant.
Bang, bang.
I can think of Zion Williamson.
Mm.
I can think of let me see. Who else do I think would be still out here playing basketball that hops from team to team? Oh, wait a minute. James Harden, if it's a Vegas
Mm.
team. There you go. He loves Vegas.
I mean, I'm telling you now, but salute again, salute to Seattle and Las Vegas. I mean, Las Vegas is about to be a major sports city. Like you said, you mentioned the Aces, right? They got the Golden
Yep.
Knights,
Yep.
right? The
You
hockey
got the
team out there.
Raiders.
The Raiders. Like, come on,
Hmm.
what? You know what I mean? So again, I think, and you know what, Browski? Let me say this, and you let me know if this makes sense. Vegas used to be known for what?
Gambling,
And what else?
casinos,
And what else?
mobsters.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So
Mm-hmm.
now they're known for everything else besides that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, it kind of like that's kind of like one of the things to say this is, we're moving to a new millennium, new situation, new generation, new
Yeah.
vibe, new times when, the Mecca, all you could name 50 big fights that happen in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
50.
Yeah.
There are other places
That's
like
where all the biggest fights would take
right.
place.
Trump, the Superdome, they had fights too. But no, Vegas was the spot. But
Yeah.
now Vegas is known for who would have thought that they would be playing hockey
In
in
Vegas.
Vegas? You know what I'm saying? I see Browski
Ooh.
checking out the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
We into that. So we're gonna get ready to get it cracking, and we're gonna talk about that before we talk about some other things before we get up out of here. Browski, World Baseball Classic. I want to talk about how somebody got jerked on the last pitch in that game at the USA.
Hmm.
That was a very, very bad call.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And
it
again,
was.
I feel like, you can't have games end like that. That's my point. I mean, if we had the ABS system, we wouldn't have had that. But again,
And yes,
I'm looking forward to a lot of this, Kimmy. Look,
that's what I'm saying. I was
there's gonna
surprised,
be a lot of that going
and
on.
I'm surprised that that system isn't being used in the WBC. That was very surprising that there wasn't. But going back to that game,
Hmm.
that was calling that all night. So now, if I'm the batter and I didn't been up to bat 2 to 3 times already, and I'm
Hmm.
noticing that this ump is calling this low, calling
Strike.
low, calling
Hmm.
his strike zone is very low.
Go ahead, Kimmy. Hmm.
Extremely low. It was very low. In the spotlight there, you gotta fight it off. You gotta fight off, and also
So
I
swing
need
it.
my manager to come out here and have a conversation with the ump
You want to whoop
Be-
his ass. That's a,
because, like I
like
said, all game he was calling like that. So on one hand, I definitely agree with the Dominican Republic gripe. I do.
hmm.
But on the other hand, hey, he's been calling that all night. It's up to the manager, the hitting coach, and the player to make that adjustment.
Hmm.
And he failed to. All three of them failed to do so, and that's the results. And I'm pretty sure that's going to change the next WBC. I guarantee we have robot umps. I guarantee it.
Um, I think that they try to make it, back to basic as possible. Wasn't no pitch clock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? None of that, ghost runners, none of that stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but the more things change, Kimmy, the more they stay the same.
Yeah.
So we can't even escape even the biggest, baseball in season, preseason tournament, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
we have controversy. So
Uh-huh.
I feel like tonight's final with the United States and Venezuela. Again, I feel like the Venezuela team got a lot of people names that you're going to be hearing in the Major League season.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so this is not going to be an easy game for the United States to win. Um, we were talking about it earlier with my man from work. We was like, "Yo, the game is going to be in Miami." Okay,
Yeah.
man, it's going to be like 70-30 Venezuelan
Oh my
crowd.
God. It's a home game. What are you talking
And
about?
I said, "Yo, they're lucky that they didn't have to play Puerto Rico
Yeah.
or the Dominican Republic."
Or Cuba.
What?
Yeah.
Venezuela, no disrespect to nobody, but with Venezuela, they kind of, I mean, they got a squad. They got a
Yeah.
squad. They got a team
No,
that
they
can
do.
handle the United States. So again, we're gonna need to score some runs.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely ain't
and
looking like it right now.
and if they don't win this thing, are they going to go back to what Mark DeRosa said in the beginning? You know what I mean? When we got a bye and he didn't know what was going on, is that going to be cast a pall over them? The offense wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. Again, Tarek Skubal, I don't think he would be a major factor because I think that what they have is what they got, and they can win this thing without Tarek Skubal. But I don't think that should, be a stain on him. He did what he wanted to do for him.
I mean, I hear that.
He won his
I
arbitration. He won his arbitration. So again, he wanted to make sure that he was ready for the team when.
Well, guess what? Don't agree to be a part of this. See, if this was in the Olympics, that wouldn't be allowed. You know, you have to have rules. You have to have some type of rule about this. You want to participate in this, I need for the team to be a team. So that means you're here. It's no, oh, I'm going to pitch one game and then I'm going to go back to spring training. Nah, bro, it don't work that way because guess what? He could have been, we could have had him pitch against DR and then had Paul Skeens pitch tonight. And that right there probably was the plan. We have two guys of that caliber, two young aces. He should have been here.
Terry Scoobin, you won't get rocked in the first inning, like Paul Skeens. But
Listen, but still, we still won the game.
yeah,
Paul
who won
could
the
have been out here right now
no,
starting this game. You
no
know,
doubt.
no, no offense to my man Noah. Like I like him too, but
Uh-huh.
this is a championship game. This should be Paul Skeens pitching this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you on that. Where you're supposed to really, really have your best on deck, ready to go. Because Venezuela had their best on deck. They got their best
Hmm.
on deck. You know what I mean? So up and down that lineup is crazy. So again, you're supposed to have your best to go up against that. So where do you feel like the United States really can improve? I mean, when you say improve, I mean like who would you see on the next, World Baseball Classic team? You're still gonna see a Terry Skubal or Skeens or Bobby Witt Jr. or you know what I mean?
Um, I mean, Bobby Witt has been fantastic
Yeah.
defensively. You know, for him playing in Kansas City, you don't really get to see a lot of Bobby Witt. You know, so I think having him on this team, it was like I'm watching it. I'm like, damn. I'm like Bobby Witt is like
I mean, it's nice.
he like. I'm like,
Hmm.
dang, is he the best shortstop in the league? I'm
He's
like,
amazing. He's up there.
yeah.
He's
I'm
a
like,
one of
I'm
the
like, this
main reasons
guy's
I picked
great.
the Royals last year to win the division.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy is amazing. Surprising. I don't think the next roster gonna have Carl Raleigh on there. Kyle Raleigh.
Mm.
He can't even get in the game.
Man, he's
You
going.
know,
He's going through
Will
some things
Smith
right
been
now. Mhm.
starting. You know,
Mhm.
so I think we
Rosa,
have.
a Rosa Reyna put a hex on him.
definitely did. He definitely did. Um, I think the next, and then I think the next go around, we might be a little bit younger.
Right.
No Bryce Harper, no Kyle Schwarber, and probably no Aaron Judd.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think we'll be looking younger. Like I said, I feel like Bobby Witt could be the captain of the next team. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Gunnar Henderson
Henderson,
also been really
Pico,
good.
Strong. Yeah,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
I think we need to upgrade at center field. Um,
I think we could use a new manager too.
oh, I don't think he's going to be managing this team no
Yeah,
more.
like that.
By
Salute to
him,
Rosen, man.
by
Salute.
him saying, "Oh, I didn't know that." Anytime a coach, manager, GM have an answer of saying, "Oh, I didn't know that." Oh, you did? Cool. So what you're going to know is that you're out of here because I can't have somebody running for being the head of my team. They don't know the rules. What are you talking about? You got the players on the bus. They're drinking. They're partying. No, you gotta play. You got to play tomorrow. You
Right.
gotta win tomorrow to get to get out of pool play.
Who you think you are, David Wells? Right. Right.
You think it's the 80s? Y'all smoking cigarettes, drinking beer, like
This having
no.
this having a good time, right?
Yes, you gotta play tomorrow. You have to win.
On the taxpayers'
I said, what? I said, yo, this. I said, this is
Don't play with
crazy.
me. Throw it up. But yeah, yo, the World Baseball Classic is the sign that baseball season is actually less than 10 days away.
Yeah.
And we're going to be ready for it. All right. Bosky, what I got to get from you between now and the weekend maybe is your division picks so I can put them in when I do the write up.
Yep.
I'm
I
definitely
got you on that.
all right.
Yeah, I'll get to you
Yeah,
by tomorrow.
no doubt. So yeah, we in the building actually, man, and the World Baseball Classic is a thing. Again, you want to win. Venezuela was it sacrifice fly? Did they take the lead?
Yeah.
Yeah, Salvador Perez scored on the sack.
Yeah. Sack
Yeah, so it's
fly.
to Venezuela. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. So again, we in the building. We're gonna stretch this, get down on it a little bit tonight because I got a couple of things I want to get and talk about. Now I'm a pop my collar, but Browski, this is her favorite part of the show. Browski likes to talk her ish about a topic that is near and dear to her heart. Ladies and gentlemen, high siblings, aka Browski, and what we getting down on tonight.
Well, I'm actually gonna get down on about two to maybe three things. The first thing I'm gonna get down on is the
Let's go,
NFL free
Browski.
agency. Um, more signings, more trades. The Denver Broncos traded
Yep.
Jalen Waddle. I mean, the Miami traded Jalen Waddle to the Broncos. They got a first round, a third round, and a fourth round pick for Jalen Waddle. That's crazy to me, you know. And people are expecting the Eagles to trade AJ Brown for a pack of juicy fruit, where Jalen Waddle just got a haul. They got a haul for this guy. It's wild to me.
Didn't
Um,
y'all just didn't y'all just get AJ Brown's brother, Hollywood Brown?
yeah, we just got the how yeah, we just got the flashy Brown, which is when we signed them, everybody's like, oh well, here's a wide receiver too. I said no. I said Hollywood Brown is a wide receiver three. I said, where have you guys been at? This is not the same kid that was drafted. He's a journeyman now. He's been bounced from team to team. Um, but the one thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if people are realizing that what's going on in Miami. The Miami Dolphins are having a fire sale, and they are eating so much money, so much dead money. They are paying over 175 million in dead money this year. Tour.
That means they're paying $175 million to people who are not playing on their team.
Yeah, the dead money at the Tour 50 plus million. Tyreek Hill 28 million. Waddle, who they just traded, 26 million. Jalen Ramsey 20 million. Minka Fitzpatrick 13. Bradley Chubb 10. Teron Armstead 10. James Daniels 4. Zach Wilson 3. Alec Ingold 2. Johnny Smith 1.7. Nick Westbrook 1.6. Matthew Judon 1.4. Jason Sanders 600K. Cam Smith 500K. And then the lone man, some guy named Mohammed Kamara at 160K. So you are paying all of this money for them not to play on your team. $175 million
Only in America.
is wild to me. I'm looking at the league like, is nobody looking at this? How are they able to pay this much money in dead cash space and still sign people or bring up new contracts? Like, that's crazy work to me. Um, I don't know what's going on in Miami. It's like a super fire sale. Everybody must go. I don't care if we owe you money. We're just
Right,
gonna
right. I don't care how
we're
much.
just gonna eat it
Right,
because we
right.
don't want you here at all. You know. And
You
the
ain't got to go home.
next thing I'm getting down on, last thing is the women NCAA tournament. Bragging look a little crazy. My get down is it very possible could be an upset in the second round. We've been talking about this team all year, particularly one player and Miss Audie Cooks. And it's a possible second round matchup of UConn versus Iowa State. A
Hmm.
possible second round matchup, which will be very interesting just to see how UConn can deal with the dominance of Audie Cooks. You know, and how Gino will be able, what would his defensive scheme be? That will be one heck of a game to watch, and very possible a team that can end UConn's perfect streak and back-to-back run. So I would definitely say if I keep an eye on that possible matchup, and also I think we may have a Texas champion. You know, I think Texas might take it this year for the women's side. You know, but that's still to be determined. Anything could change, especially after the first four. But that's what I'm getting down on. What are you getting down on, Left? What's yours?
Yo, I want to get down on something that we talked about a couple weeks ago when Mike Evans left the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to go to San Francisco 49ers.
Hmm.
What was the first thing that came out of my mouth? I said Mike Evans left because of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, yes, you did.
Um, I get it. I've been a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan since 1976. I got skin in the game with the Buccaneers, right? But it's
Hmm.
2026. That matters a damn. This team, I've been saying it. I've been saying it. I've been saying it. This team ain't been right since Tom Brady left, right? They got a ring. They got comfortable. Bruce Arians seen it, and he went upstairs.
He said bye.
Nah, left a plausibly decent team in
Hmm.
Todd Bowles' hands, who's supposed to be a defensive guru, defensive mastermind, all of that. How did that work out with the Jets? Now, again, I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, but don't get it twisted. I'm not like a lot of these people who see pie in the sky, peaches and cream, and then you end up 8-9. They were talking about Baker Mayfield first 4 weeks of the season. Who has got the most 2-minute comebacks. Week 4. What are you talking about? That was the first thing.
They talking MVP.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, what are we talking about? Right? So now you didn't see enough when Baker Mayfield was trying to scramble and he fumbled the ball and throwing interceptions and things like that. Don't give me that Mike Evans slipped and all that. No. It was an interception just the same. And I can name a number of things that Baker Mayfield helped us blow games. Mm-hmm. Not just him by himself. Don't get it twisted. I watch the game just like you. Our defense stinks. The coaching is inept. Nobody cares. All our draft picks that we picked in the secondary, the Benjamin Morrison kid, he got burnt toast. Not bacon burnt toast. Right? We got guys leaving left and right. Mike Evans was the first one. Rashad White, he left. Right? Because he know that Bucky Irvin is getting ready to do what he do, and then we're going to pick up somebody else in the draft. Look at me talking about the NFL draft, right?
Look at that.
Right? And again, back to my original point. My original point is that I feel that I was right, and I'm going to stand on that square. I'm going to stand on that square when it comes to why Mike Evans left. Because he wanted to win. He didn't see another Super Bowl run with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as currently constructed. He didn't see it. So, again, is he justified in leaving? But he should have ended his career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now he's going to a team that just added. Did the 49ers just add somebody else?
Yeah.
So again, he's going to a division in the NFC West. That's he's got to see Seattle, right? You got to see the Rams, and their secondary just got crazy.
Yeah, they just signed Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk. So, again, you're looking at the big picture. He saw that as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was hustling backwards. And I see that, too. But you know what? Here's my thing, Browski, and I'm going to leave it at this so we can chop it up for a few minutes before we go. We got some time, like 10 minutes. I've been a Buccaneers fan since day one. And if I, myself, and the rest of my Buccaneers fans who've been down since day one can go through 0-26, this is nothing. This is nothing. You know what I mean? But again, I'm standing on my square. The reason why Mike Evans left is because of Baker Mayfield. The coaching, 3rd and 28. You should get t-shirts that say 3rd and 28. Famous last words. So again, that's what I'm getting down on, and I'm standing on my square, yo. And if you disagree, that's your constitutional right, and we can chop it up and we can talk about it, right? Because again, I don't want to seem like I'm right, you're wrong. No, we all have opinions, but I think that's my opinion. I'm not worried about Mike Evans wanting to prolong his career. He could have prolonged his career in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So I'm equating that for me. This is just for me, Kimmy. As a Buccaneers fan for as long as I've been, Mike Evans in the 49ers uniform is akin to Jerry Rice with the Raiders. Franco Harris with the Seahawks. Tony Dorsett with the Denver Broncos. Right? So again, I feel like, it's a little personal, Browski. It absolutely is, because Tampa Bay is my team and Mike Evans is my guy. He's going to be a Hall of Famer and this and that and the third. But now it's like, the soul of the team is gone. Who is the soul of the Buccaneers now?
Yeah,
it damn sure ain't Vita Vea.
Yeah, I never thought that I would see Mike Evans play for another team. I never thought I would see Mike Evans play for another team.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. So again, at the end of the day, I just wanted to get down on that. Any quick thoughts, real quick, on upcoming baseball season? I know we're watching the Venezuela up 1-0 in the top of the fourth on the USA.
Yeah, this season, I'll say this: Aaron Nola look amazing. He looked like he's going. He's trying to get back to his form before getting hurt. Christopher Sanchez looked amazing pitching for DR. Um, and I think um, Bryce Harper is in postseason form because this man can't seem to consistently hit in the WBC. He's averaging like one. I think his average is like it's like a 1.46 or 1.5 something. It's terrible. And this is showing what Dave Dombrowski had said when they asked him about Bryson. He said he don't know if Bryce Harper is an elite player anymore,
Hmm.
and it's showing.
That's
You
why he was
know,
mad at Dombrowski.
yes, because he said that he doesn't know if he's elite, and to be honest, he hasn't played on that elite level since we went to the World Series. After that, it just been a downward spiral with him. Injuries. He had the elbow. Then now he's saying somebody have an issue with his wrist. But if you're hurt or you have an issue with your wrist, why you playing in the WBC? See, now that shows me that if you can't use that as a you can't use that as an excuse for your poor play, because if it was really a problem, it was really bothering you, you wouldn't be playing in these games. You'll be getting treatment, making sure your wrist is right for the regular season. So I just think it's going to be a really intense season. I think it's going to be a lot closer that a lot of people wouldn't think. Like last year when we everybody thought that the Dodgers were going to run away the whole season, and we seen that they had some adversity and they had to play hard. They didn't just get handed the World Series trophy. So
Yeah, sure did.
yeah, so I think this season is going to be a good season. I hope, because it may be the last season we have
Let's
for a
go,
minute.
Kim.
So
Mm-hmm.
we better cherish every game this
Screenshots.
season. Okay, this is why I have been really pushing for you guys to watch the WBC, to all my baseball heads, because hey, we may not have baseball next season, and at least we have a little extension with this tournament, and then going flowing right into the regular season. So cherish this season. Go to as many games as you can this season, because baseball is going to look totally different from here on. And that's all I got to say.
Um, talking about the Phillies and their outlook. We're gonna get more in depth into it when we do the
Mhm.
2026 MLB preview. But real quick about the Yankees, I feel like once we get Garrett Cole where we need him to be, and Clark Schmidt where we need him to be, we'll be all right. I think our offense could compete with this. But he's just a year older. Position wise, Aaron Boone's talking about he could see Ryan McMahon playing shortstop. Why don't he just tell Anthony Volpe like, yo, son, this ain't it, right?
Just
You
go
know what I
ahead.
mean? So again, like Browski said, this season is going to be crazy. I'm looking for the American League East to be a very, very, very tight race all the way through the summer. I'm looking for the Baltimore Orioles to be better. So then that's another team that the Yankees are going to have to compete with. The Tampa Bay Rays going back home, they were decent last year. So that whole division, man, you know what I mean? And people expected the Boston Red Sox to kind of fall off. I think that the Boston Red Sox are going to be right there. The team that I think is going to fall off in the division is the Toronto Blue Jays. I think Game Seven took everything that they had. Vladimir
It
Guerrero
did.
and them they was ready to win.
It was.
They was ready to go in and celebrate, and it's kind of deflating. So I think that, and I'm just giving some of my stuff away already for the preview. I definitely don't think that the Blue Jays are going to go back to the World Series. I definitely don't think. I don't think that. But again, like Kimmy said, man, like the old Kool and the Gang song, "Cherish the Love," because this baseball season is going to be probably the last one we see in a while. And the reason why we're talking like this in March, right, getting prepared for October, November lockout, is because it's coming. There's no way around it. There's nothing that's going to be done. We said it last week when we talked about this. The menu is this: the Players Association talk, the owners talk. The owners give their side, the Players Association give their side. No compromise from nowhere, because this has been going on too long, for one thing. The other thing is that they're gonna get a mediator, and what is there to mediate? The owners are standing on their square, the players standing on their square. The players definitely don't want no salary cap. The owners definitely do. So what are we doing?
Salary cap, luxury tax.
You know what I'm
It's gonna be a different type of MLB.
It's going to definitely be different. And then, like I said a couple of weeks ago, Browski, I said I understand now where the Steinbrenners are coming from. They seen it like, yo, I'm not paying all this money, shelling out all these crazy $300 million contracts for these dudes, and they not playing. That's not work. Who do you think we are?
I was on the same time too. I had to step back and I say, wait a minute. Why did we can't spend all this money this season because we don't know the future. So I totally agree.
We think they're the Miami Dolphins or something. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. We only have 175 million dead cap money just laying around.
We're about to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all, man. Down in sports, we in the house every Tuesday night like we do. RM Des, man. RM Des on Twitter, which is this right now. Over there, you see Browski, aka Yada Bear, aka High Ceilings, aka 1,500 yard. You know the vibes. We're in the building, man, every Tuesday night, man. Rock with us, Riverside FM, YouTube, eventually Facebook, all that good stuff. But we're in the building. Got to shout out Kiki Shepard, man. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? If you know about the Apollo, like Showtime at the Apollo, like the back of the days was a joint. But yeah, Kiki Shepard held it down. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Somebody said earlier today, she was our Vanna White.
She definitely was.
You know what I'm saying? So again, rest in peace to Kiki Shepard. Shout out to her. And Browski, we're gonna talk behind the scenes. I got a couple of Kiki Shepard stories for you. They're not for down in sports consumption. All right, to get up out of here. Salute, and we'll talk to y'all next week. Browski, don't go nowhere. All right, y'all be easy, man.
Yes, peace out.
Nixon.